Yes, guys, you are welcome to another explosive episode of Countdown Central. Yes, this is, like I always say, the number one sports program on the internet. Guys, today we have so much in store for you, and I just hope that you will be a part of the program. Today, what are we talking about? We're going to be talking about a lot of things, going from the EPL to the World Cup. We're also going to be talking about, in fact, let me just take it one after the other so I don't leave anything out. Now, what are we talking about today? First of all, we'll be going to the trending segment. As you know, trending segment is a segment where we talk about a lot of things that are happening in the football world and sometimes in the combat sports world. So today we'll be giving you a lot of that, things that you don't get to see in the general sports programs, just some well-researched information. Then from the trending segment, we'll now move straight to the head-to-head segment. Today on head-to-head, we'll be comparing Kevin De Bruyne, will be comparing him with Bruno Fernandes. We want to find out who is a better midfielder. If you need a midfielder to add to your team, who will you go for, De Bruyne or Fernandes? Now, from the head-to-head segment, we'll now go to the countdown segment. Today, we're going to be talking about the top 5 big game players in recent time, not of all time, in recent time. Of course, if it's of all time, the list will definitely change. But then, in recent times. Then from there, we'll go straight to the roast room. Today, who are we roasting? We're going to be roasting Manchester United. So if you're a Man U fan like I am, you can join me live on stage to defend your club. And if you are not a Man U fan and you want to roast Man U, feel free to come and roast us. I mean, we deserve the roasting. Then we will also get to the fan hot takes. And of course, we'll be going to the prediction segment. Remember, this weekend is the final of the Champions League. Arsenal will be taking on PSG. So we'll be making our predictions before the game. And at the end of the prediction segment, we'll now go to the floor is yours segment. Yes, in this segment, we give you the floor and we allow you to say what you want to say, to bear your mind on whatever you want to say, as long as it borders on sports, football and combat sports specifically. Guys, like I said, you are going to have fun. Now, first of all, let's head straight to the trending segment. On trending today, the first thing we're going to be talking about is the World Cup. Guys, give me a minute. I'm just trying to get I'm trying to just organize myself here, because I have to come live without doing any preparation at all, and I have some notes written down, so I don't want to mix these things up. So just bear with me. So on trending today, let's just all go to the World Cup. This World Cup, this will be the first time that we're having 48 teams at the World Cup. And because we'll be having 48 teams, we are also having 4 debutants. And those debutants include Cape Verde, Uzbekistan, is it Curacao or something? Curacao and Jordan. Now, of these 4 teams, on a personal level, I really don't know much about Curacao. I don't know much about Jordan. I mean, they're football teams now. I don't know much about them. And the only knowledge I have about Uzbekistan was some 10, 15, 20 years ago when Nigeria played the game against Uzbekistan in Lagos. And Nigeria won that match. I think we beat them by 6-1 or something, if I remember correctly. So that's the only knowledge I have about Uzbekistan. So for those 3 teams that I just mentioned, I do not expect anything major. I don't expect any upset from them. I expect that they'll be one of the whipping boys of their groups. But we have Cape Verde. Cape Verde is an African team, and they are debutants at this World Cup. Guess what? Even though they are debutants, I am rooting for them to even probably come out of the group. Why? Because I have watched Cape Verde play. At the Nations Cup, Cape Verde is always a solid team. I think they have attended the last 2 to 3 Nations Cup. And on all occasions, Cape Verde is always a very tough nut to crack. So I do not expect that they will just go there and just allow other teams to just beat them and turn them into the whipping boys. No, I don't think so. I believe Cape Verde is going to give a good fight. They are going to give other teams a run for their money. Now, this World Cup is going to set a record. How? The opening ceremony will be happening at the Azteca Stadium in Mexico. And this will make that Azteca Stadium, the first stadium that will be hosting an opening ceremony of the World Cup 3 times. This is the first time a single stadium will be hosting the World Cup 3 times. So, now let's move on. Now, the final of this World Cup will hold at New Jersey, the stadium at New Jersey, and we expect that over 80,000 fans will grace that occasion. But this is the problem I have with that plan. From the gist I've been hearing, the cost of World Cup tickets are extremely high. A lot of people have been complaining about how much the tickets are going for. And so far, I've not heard anything from FIFA. I've not heard FIFA trying to do anything to beat down the cost of those tickets. But I don't know how tickets will be going for as high as $1,000, $2,000. Doesn't make sense to me. Just doesn't make sense to me. So I'm hoping that FIFA will work on that and bring down the cost of the ticket so that more people can. I mean, it's a World Cup. Everybody wants to have fun. Everybody wants to go and enjoy the World Cup. So FIFA should not present a stumbling block to those that cannot afford to pay that much money to watch a football match. So FIFA should please take note. Now, at this World Cup, another thing you should know is that a World Cup giant will not be attending this World Cup. And who are we talking about? We're talking about Italy. Italy will not be attending this World Cup. And as you know, Italy has won the World Cup 4 good times. So missing out on this World Cup is a major blow. I mean, Gattuso, their coach, I think that Gattuso was the coach that was not able to take them to the World Cup. I mean, it was I saw the highlights of the last match that they played that they were not able to win. I saw the highlights and I saw the emotions. It was not good at all. When you even saw the reaction of Gattuso, you could tell that, man. And Italy is the team that I always favor. Anytime Italy is at the World Cup, I always root for them. But unfortunately, they will not be at this World Cup. So I'll have to look for another team. Unfortunately, my team, Nigeria, is also not at the World Cup. So I have to look for another team. So as it stands, the team I'm supporting for now is Senegal. But anyhow, we'll talk about them maybe in another stream. Now, another thing that we need to also beam our flashlights on is the fact that Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo will be attending their 6th World Cups. Wow. Talk about legacy. Talk about legacy. Man, 6 World Cup. Do you know what it means to attend 6 World Cups? And these guys have been doing so well in their individual careers. Listen, at the last World Cup, we all said that 2022 was probably going to be their last World Cups. But guess what? This is 2026 and they are going to attend this World Cup. Can you beat that? So I'm not going to sit here and say that they will not be at 2030 World Cup. I don't trust those guys. I do not trust those guys. And I wonder how they do it. I wonder how they're able to stay so healthy to still be playing at this age. These guys are somewhere around 40, 41, 42, and they are still going strong. Wow, those guys, when you talk about longevity, just give it to them, especially Ronaldo. Just give it to them. Those guys they are something else. Now, just at the weekend, we saw a boxing match that shocked me on a personal level, because Usyk fought against a certain guy called Rico. That guy is not even a boxer. I think that would be his second boxing fight against Usyk, Alexander Usyk. Guess what? Usyk needed all of 10 rounds, 11 rounds. Usyk needed about 10 or 11 rounds before he was able to knock the guy out. But guess what? The guy was winning the fight up until Usyk knocked him out. The guy was winning. You see, combat sports is one funny sport. You just cannot predict it. You just cannot predict it. And guess what? Up until Usyk knocked out the guy, I was already thinking, Usyk is going to lose the belt today. But thank God he was able to come back and win the fight. But combat sports is a funny thing. No wonder Tyson said that every boxer has a plan until he's punched in the face. So that fight was something else. Although it was entertaining though, but scary, because I wanted Usyk to win. But anyhow, so let's go straight to trending, and we'll be focusing on the EPL, the English Premier League. Now guys, did you know that in this just concluded season, Arsenal scored a total of 18 goals from the corner kick position? They scored 18 corners. They scored from 18 corners. That's massive, and that's a record that has never happened before in the Premiership. So that's a record. Another thing that you need to know is Bruno Fernandes became the highest assist. How do I put it down? Bruno Fernandes finished with 21 assists in this season, and that will be the highest number of assists in the history of the Premiership. Before now, it used to be held by Thierry Henry and De Bruyne. They were tied on 20 assists per season. So now, Bruno Fernandes beat their own record, and Bruno Fernandes was able to make 21 assists in the season just gone by. So Bruno Fernandes now holds the record, and from the way it's looking, it might take some time before they will beat that record. But we'll come back to that when it's time for the head-to-head, because there are a lot of things I want to talk about that. Then, this season finished with Haaland topping the scorers charts. Haaland finished the league with 27 league goals. So as usual, come to think of it, I think since Haaland came to the EPL, he is the one that has always been finishing with the highest goals every year. I think he has. Wow, that's an achievement. What an achievement. Anyway, he finished with 27 goals this season. Now, David Raya of Arsenal finished with the Golden Gloves because he did so well. Man, I was watching some of his clips, some highlights of David Raya. David Raya made some saves, man. Listen, if Arsenal wants to start thanking people for this league win, by the time they talk about Saka, by the time they talk about Eberechi Eze and some other players like that, they should thank David Raya because that guy made some crazy saves, man. Well, he won the Golden Gloves award for this season. As a matter of fact, this is the third consecutive time he'll be winning that award. So that shows that it is not a fluke at all. The guy is a world-class goalkeeper. Now, another person that you want to talk about is Victor Gyökeres. Gyökeres did so well. I think he scored about 20 goals or something. That's in all competitions. Gyökeres also did very well, especially if you consider the fact that this is his debut season for Arsenal. Now, another person you want to talk about is Eberechi Eze, who did so well. As a matter of fact, Eberechi Eze won like 2-3 matches single-handed for Arsenal, because I remember there was a match they played and the match ended 1-0 from Eberechi Eze's goal. I mean, Eze did so well. Gyökeres did so well. In fact, the whole team did very well. Now, there is another thing you need to know in the just concluded English Premier League. Did you know that Wolverhampton Wanderers lost to all the teams in the Premiership in this just concluded season? What that means is they lost at least a match to every other team in the Premiership. That is an unenviable record, but it is a record because this is the first time it is happening in the Premiership. This is the very first time. It has never happened before. So guys, that is the trending segment. I hope you had fun and I hope you enjoyed the information that we brought to you. Now, let's go straight to the head-to-head segment.